Hey, what's up? Let's take a look at the Rick Hinderer 3-inch XM-18. I kind of wanted to do a flipper versus non-flipper video and a review, so I guess I'll just roll the two into one. First, real quick, getting a lot of questions, and it's always the, XM-18 question. Not only the size, but do you want a flipper or a non-flipper? Personally, in the past, I would say non-flipper always. But to be super honest with myself, I play with the knives a lot more than I actually use the knives. So the flipper is really fun to just mess around with. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say flipper because you also get the added benefit of it being a guard. So should you ever want to stab something, you've got that little bit of extra protection. Not that really in real practical use would it be, I don't know. I do know, like when I'm doing my pull cuts like backwards like this, like going through a thick zip tie or something, nothing digs into the webbing of my hand here with the non-flipper. And if you try to do the same thing, you can see how it's angled down and kind of sharp there. That does bite in just a little bit and cause a little bit of a hot spot, but realistically you just kind of grab down on the knife a little bit more and that's not really an issue. Also, if you ever pull like through cardboard backwards like this, most of us are just cardboard warriors. It's the truth. Your thumb kind of goes here and then you just pull through. So non-flipper's nice like that, where you can't really do that with this one. I guess you can bend it around like this and still do it. But anyways, it's not as natural. But overall, I like the looks of both. I really do. And I do prefer flipper. If you're only going to buy one XM-18, buy a flipper slicer grind. You don't need that Spanto. Spantos, they don't cut very well. I mean, that's just the truth, man. I've owned a bunch of them. I've owned custom hand ground ones and stuff, so the slicer seems to do really well. If I haven't said already, this is a 3-inch version. Both of these are. This one is mine. This is my personal knife here. But my client who sent a bunch of knives in said to carry this one, and just give my thoughts on it. So I've been carrying the 3-inch XM-18 for at least 4 weeks now, and I really, really enjoy it. It's possibly the best EDC I can think of. This exact version right here, slicer grind with the flipper, and I like the green G10. Of course, you guys know me. I'll probably switch that out for some carbon fiber when I get the chance. If you're wondering, the edge was put on there by the gentleman who sent both of these to me. And yes, he sent both, but this one's mine now, so I'll just leave it at that. But I do appreciate it, Jim. Haha, gotcha. No, so anyways, this is a fantastic knife any way you want to slice it, but let's get into pricing. If you forget about price and how much these things go in the aftermarket, most people would just get them and use them like a Sebenza. So they're not. That's not the way Rick Hinderers work. Is that good or bad? I'm going to say it's good, because anytime you can have a piece like this where you can put it in your pocket, it's functional art, and just something that you enjoy, you're getting into more than just an edged tool. If you want that, let's put up a few things up against it. There's small Sebenza, less than half the price of what these go for on the aftermarket, right? This is actually a tricked out Tanto one. Okay, so here's some size for you. Small Sebenza. There's the large Sabenza. So you can see it's not really that small of a knife. And you're not missing much cutting edge. If you're wondering, that's a wicked edge. I don't know if I said that. But for the value for your money, you know, it's just, that's so hard to say. Kylie just put up a video reviewing the 3-inch Hinderer, this very same knife. Although I'm not sure if his was a flipper or not. But most people, I almost said people and folks. Most people seem to think the Para has, you know, a nice, suitable EDC size edge length. Well, there you go, cutting edge up against cutting edge. It's not much shorter at all. So, you know, a lot less handle. Rick Hinderer's got that design thing down pat. And Spyderco does too. I just feel like sometimes their handles are a little large for what you get for the blade. But anyways, so here it is up against the SNG. A lot of people love the Strider SNG, as do I. Really do. But let's see what the edge lengths look like. Here's overall. In edge length, almost dead even, right? So you can see they do pack a lot of edge length in there. Rick Hinderer does. A lot of people like the Mannix too, right? I do. Love it. Here's the overall. Here is the edge length. So you can see, ideally for your everyday uses, 3-inch Hinderer will probably get you. Probably will. But when you talk value, you know, these things go $800-900 now. It's cheap. If you see one for like $750, it sounds crazy, but that's what they're going for. Like I said, good or bad, I think it's good because your value is protected unless the bottom falls out. And the only way I can see the bottom falling out is if Rick Hinderer lets everybody know how much he's actually producing. I think the best thing to do is to keep those numbers a secret, because right now there could be an illusion that they're very rare and produced in rare numbers, but I don't know. I don't know what I think on that. Right here's 2. I mean, how rare can they really be? You see some people with 15. Modifieds has a table of them all the time. You can pay a pretty penny for them, that's for sure, but you gotta wonder, you know, how much is that an illusion that they're just hard to get to? Yeah, at one time they were. I don't think they are now. You just gotta pay for them. Finder's fee. You know, if it's going to be your one knife that you're going to keep forever, does it matter if you paid $500 or $800? I don't think so. You know, has Rick Hinderer earned that? I don't know. He's not marking his knives up that much. You know, it's the aftermarket. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know, a lot of people just say, oh, it's bad, greedy. Well, I'll tell you, as a maker of myself, not a maker yet, but as a modifier, whatever you want to call what I do, it's an honor. I've actually seen a knife that I did, and I know the price I quoted the guy, and when he was ready to sell it, he sold it for more than what he had into it. And that, as like for me, was a compliment to say, oh, my work is actually worth that. If somebody paid that, then your work is actually worth that. So people are paying the prices for this every day. Rick Hinderer could be charging that much, but he's not. He's a very smart man. Just like Ernie Emerson. When you win his lottery for a custom knife, you can flip it for double, almost triple what they go for. But here's what will really put it in perspective. One 3-inch Hinderer is worth, realistically, real money. Because it's like money's not real when you start talking Hinderers. It's just not. It's bizarre. Money's not real. One Hinderer, just one, is worth this knife, and this knife. Realistically. These are about $250 a piece. So right here is about $750. And that's cheap. I mean, you could probably throw in this knife too. Now, is this one knife worth 3 duas? Gosh, from a practical standpoint, no way. Do you know what I mean? Like, no way. But this is more than an edge tool. It's like a I'd like to say collectible, but I have a hard time believing that this is a collectible, rare one-off piece. This is not a hand-ground piece. There is more like this one in the world, believe it or not, you know. Whatever you might believe how rare they are. But is that one knife? Titanium on the back. Very well built. I cannot knock any of the construction quality. The action is beautiful. Lockup, beautiful. I mean, just everything is perfect. I love it. I mean, it's probably the most perfect EDC I've ever had the joy to carry. Honestly, it really is. But is it worth $900 or $800? That's up for you to decide. Personally, I've got so much equipment that I need to buy and stuff. I don't think I could pay that $900 and feel good about it. But, you know, I didn't. So I'm very happy. I'm very, very fortunate to be in the position that I'm in. I'll say that. But is it worth the Hinderer? Is it worth all these? These are great knives. I would put this up against any Strider any day of the week. The Dua. This video's not about the Dua, but I just want to stress how much of a quality knife that these are. You know, it's like, is it really worth 3 of these? And you guys all know how perfect the Para 2 is. You know, is it really worth all that? Probably not. Do people get crazy in their hobbies? Yes. Any hobby you could think of. Model rocketry. There's people launching $5,000 rockets in the air, and they might not get them back. They might blow up when they're in the air. It's just the way it is. You know, hobby stuff is hobby stuff, and the very upper echelon of any hobby is completely ridiculous. You want to race remote control cars, you could have $5,000 into your remote control car and then blow your motor up or whatever, you know. Drag racing, same thing. Racing go-karts, anything. If you like bows, if you like fishing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. High-end reels, high-end bows, high-end anything is just crazy. So this is no different. It's the highest that there is. Everybody wants to be like Hinderer, but there is only one Hinderer. It's kind of like the iPhone, you know. Everybody wants to be like the iPhone or better than the iPhone, but are they really? At the end of the day, how consistent the iPhone is and this and that, you know. I know I'll get a few haters on that. Apple sucks. Well, my iPhones have always been beautiful to me, so. Here it is for edge size. Just to figure I'd throw this in here. Dragonfly. This is an awesome little backup knife, by the way. I'll have to do a review on it later. So you can see it's larger than a Dragonfly. Peter Atwood carries one of these. Dragonfly. Big believer in the Dragonfly. Here is a... It's serrated, but here's a Delica, if that puts it into perspective for you. It's about Delica size. With the edge length a little bit more. So... Ian broke your rocket ship. Did you hear the baby? Ian broke her rocket ship. Unbelievable. Let's go get Ian. Oh, he broke your rocket ship. I'm sorry. It's so cute. Kids are so cute, guys. Hug them, hold them close. That shooting was today. It was ridiculous. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so mad, so angry at the whole situation. So angry. Today's the dang, I don't even know. There's 20 kids that they know so far that have been reported shot dead in a school shooting. Connecticut. It's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't want to end it like this, guys. The Hinderer is a fantastic knife. if you can get one at Rick Hinderer show price, or if you're able to acquire one through, because you're in public service or whatever, highly recommend it. If you're able to get one even at $650, $700, and you got the cash laying around, go ahead. I mean, even $800, $900, I would say go ahead. They're beautiful knives. If you've got that kind of money laying around, you probably already have some Duas and some ZTs and Sabenzas, so you might as well. One thing, your value is very protected, so you can always sell your Hinderer for what you got into it. Almost always. I've never ever been burnt on a Hinderer. I've only did anything but maybe appreciate in value in my possession, and I've always made out pretty well. So, anyways, that's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. That's the 3-inch Hinderer. Not really a review, just talking on the value. The review would be it's a beautiful knife. It fits a 4-finger grip behind the choil here. In the choil, yeah, it's a little small if you want to put your whole finger in there, but you just put your fingertip in there, you're good to go. Right? The slicer grind, perfect on the 3-inch. The 3-inch does have a little bit thinner blade stock. And lockup is awesome. Rick Hinderer's warranty is awesome. The action is awesome. Nylon washers in here. Don't be scared of that. What? Don't be scared of that. You don't need bronze phosphor to be, smooth acting for years. I've had Hinderers a long time. Had one Hinderer almost 2 or 3 years and used it pretty regularly. Sold it to start building the shop though, so you know how it goes. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Let me know. Review on the Dua coming up in the next few weeks. I got to carry it and get to know it, and got to get over the honeymoon session and see what living with it is really like. So that we won't know that for a few weeks. And that's it for now. If you're tuning in, I know there's many more videos on the way. In the shop, a lot of new stuff coming up. So just thought I'd let you guys know. See ya.